Hello, everyone. Welcome. So glad you're here. And whether you're joining me live or you are listening to this recording after the fact, thank you so much for joining in and lending your power to these meditations tonight. We have some important work to do, and we'll do it joyfully. And I just want to quickly introduce myself. We may have some new people joining or watching this video. My name is Daphne Gilman. I'm an energy medicine practitioner, Reiki master teacher, certified sound healer, flower essence practitioner, and I have completed the Power of Eight Intention Masterclass with Lynne McTaggart, and tonight's meditations will be in the style that she promotes in her book, The Power of Eight, which is when people get together and send intentions out from the heart. Hello, Venus. Hello, Rush. Welcome. So glad you're here. So we have hi Diane G, welcome. We have a set format, a tradition of beginning with a little bit of breathing to connect ourselves. And this particular breathing style is from the Heart Math Institute, and it's called their quick coherence technique. And the purpose of it is to relax the nervous system and to bring the brain and the heart into coherence. And we use that when we send the meditations out from our heart chakras. Hello, everyone. Okay, so let's begin by arriving in the moment. We'll just breathe together for 2 minutes. Hand over your heart to remind you to breathe through the heart center, activating the heart chakra. And it's a very, very comfortable breath. Breathing in for a count of 4, 5, or 6. Exhaling slightly longer, 5, 6, 7. And you breathe at your own pace, in and out, in and out, slightly longer. Exhale. You might have already noticed that your shoulders have dropped and that there's a certain ease in the body. It happens quickly. And as you're breathing in and exhaling, you're bringing your brain and your heart into coherence. It's very healthful, very relaxing, and also very useful in tonight's meditations. Breathing in, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 5, 6, 7. In and out. Arriving here in this moment. Nothing else to do. No demands on you or your time or attention. It's just all of us together, connecting heart to heart through the quantum field. In and out. Do you feel that connection, that sense of connection and togetherness? I do. It's really lovely. And I thank you for being here with me. And we will move from this very relaxed state into our very first, hello Vicenta, into our very first intention. So I'll read the intention, and you'll allow this to drop into your heart chakra and send it out into the quantum field, however you want to picture that. It can be, lately I've been picturing sort of a light spiral that is shooting out from the heart and heading out into the universe. And then when I cue you to follow the energy, You just wait and see what comes to you. And all those impressions and insights will have an opportunity to share them after the 3 meditations. Okay, here we go. Our first intention. We now intend that Ms. Gabriela's rental units, one above and one below her own apartment, are immediately leased by solvent, responsible, long-term tenants, and that all of them live, work, and sleep in peace, healthy and well in every way. So allow this intention to drop into your heart chakra and send it spiraling out into the universe and follow the energy. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. And let's go on to our second intentions. Okay, this one surprised me when I read about it. I just did not expect the number to be as high as it is. And we need to do something about this. Something must be done to make this better. We now intend that Americans immediately implement highly effective and compassionate improvements in all relevant systems, creating complete and permanent solutions so all may be healthy and well in every way. We don't have to worry about the details. We just have to let this drop into our heart chakra, send it spiraling out into the universe, and follow the energy. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. And we have one more intention for tonight, and this one is for all of us. For the entire month of July, we have been working with our spirit guides, and sorry, let me find the music here. We have been working with our spirit guides, and last week we did an experiment and asked for a sign, and we could talk about that after we do this meditation. And tonight we're going to ask them to help us with a specific problem. We now intend to remain healthy and well in every way as we ask our guides for help with a specific problem. And this help comes within the next 7 days, and we intend to notice and document this assistance when it appears. So allow this intention to drop into your heart chakra, send it spiraling out into the universe, and follow the energy. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. And so it is. Thank you. Wow. There was a lot of energy going through this evening's meditations. And now I would love to hear from you. Any insights or impressions that you received during the meditations? We meditated first for Miss Gabriela and her 2 rental properties. Then we intended for America to get its act together so that more Americans are able to afford the basics of life. And then our third intention was for calling in our guides to help us with a specific problem. And I'll keep an eye on the comments as you all post them. But sorry about the rustling here, just trying to organize things. I'll start with the one for Miss Gabriela. It was really interesting because I don't know anything more about the situation than you know, but I pictured her renting one unit and then the next one, and there seemed to be sort of a staggered situation where one person comes in, then the other person comes in. And then I saw the 3 families, Miss Gabriela and her 2 renters, celebrating a fall holiday. And there was no snow and it was sunny, but it was definitely leaves, pumpkins, that sort of environment. So I think this is going to happen pretty quickly. I mean, we're nearly August 1st, so I think September, October will be very, very good months for her. And then I also saw like a triangle shape where she was tied to both of these renters in different ways, and there was some call for her to open her heart. And I thought that was really interesting because, I mean, these are renters. They're not your friends. They're not your family. But we can still have compassion for people and for what they're going through. And to build some sort of respectful friendship together. And I think there's a spiritual lesson for everybody involved in, making this a better world. Yes, people need somewhere to live. Yes, people who work as landlords or who offer properties for rental have obligations and responsibilities. But what if we can make it nicer for everybody, right? So just my impressions. Let's see. Diane G., thank you so much. For the first intention, I saw a lot of light and felt light in the upper unit, but the lower one felt heavier, so I just beamed light towards it until I saw light coming in and it felt less heavy. Oh, that's so interesting. And you know what? I do know one more fact. I know that both the units have been cleaned and they have been saged. So they're ready. They're prepared. So thank you, Diane. That's amazing. And so for the second intention, let's see what Diane says. I saw farmers first. I heard support, so I beamed white light towards them. Oh, yes, American farmers are suffering. They're really, it's not just climate change. It's also finding enough workers with immigration raids. It's also paying people fairly. It's also trade and tariff issues. There is a lot going on for American farmers. Thank you so much for supporting them. What I saw in this regard was it got very busy, like a lot of people in a lot of different disciplines, a lot of areas of society all realized that this is a problem and we need to help each other. We need to find solutions that work for everyone from infants on up to the elderly. We have, again, an opportunity to make a better world and to think about what we want. Yeah, we know what's been going on and it's not nice. It's not good. People are really struggling and we have to find a way to help each other. So there was some overlap in these two intentions, and that often happens. Diane G, for the second intention, oh, I read that already. Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And then the third intention, this one is for all of us to call on our spirit guides to help us solve a problem. And last week we asked for a specific sign, and I promised that I would tell you what happened with mine. In the meditation, I saw my spirit guides dancing, and I can see that they are excellent dancers. So the sign I asked for was I wanted to be invited somehow in some way to dance. And the next morning, I have an exercise class on Thursday mornings that I attend. And it's a somatic movement class. It is not a dance class. But right in the middle of the class, the teacher said, I invite you to make this move juicy, as if you are belly dancing. So I thought that was so interesting that she actually used the word invite and dance. So that's my sign. And they were quick about it. It just took about 13 hours, I think, for that sign to show up. And I'd love to hear if any of you who were here last week has anything to say about that. But for tonight's third intention, I have done this many times. Every time I have a challenge, I ask them to send me help and to draw my awareness to it and make sure that I notice what they're up to. And it doesn't always come in the way you would expect. You can ask for help and you'll get a phone call, or a friend will casually say something, or an algorithm somewhere will pop up a solution that you hadn't thought of. And that all counts because your guides are working within the quantum field with the energy of the universe through other people. It's like when you go into a bookstore and a book falls off a shelf and it's exactly the information that you need to solve your problem. It's those kind of sort of magical, miraculous interactions that we'll have. But tonight I have like a laundry list of things I would like help with. But they said to me, choose carefully. And I'll have to think about that a little bit. Maybe I need to choose something that will make a dramatic success story to share with you next week. So I'll think about that. All right. So Diane G, for the third intention, I asked for healing in areas I'm not aware of, and I heard in your sleep. Oh, you are so intuitive. This is amazing. So maybe they're already doing it in my sleep. Yes, absolutely. And you can also intend to be more aware of it, right? And to keep track of things. And there's a good reason to write these things down, because you should not have to take this on faith. You should know that this works. And how you do that is you experiment. We did an experiment last week. We asked for a sign. We're doing an experiment this week. We want some help within the next 7 days. And we want to notice it and document it. So this is how you build confidence in this technique. This is how you develop your relationship with your guides. And they are very real, distinct personalities, distinct energies that were humans on the earth sometime in the past. And next week we're going to ask for details. We're going to get to know them better. But I encourage you to experiment in any way that pleases you, and keep track of it. Let's see what JKV has to say. I definitely heard from my guides this week and got support for the intention I requested. I remember that. And that was about your mom and getting her settled someplace that she was going to be safe and comfortable and happy. Wonderful. Congratulations. Yeah, there is so much fun to be had with all these little experiments you can do with your guides. And there's a lot of great books out there that they may not be specifically about working with your guides. They might be more about working with energy, working with the quantum field. Certainly The Power of 8 is a great one. But I would also recommend E3, by Pam Grout, Grout. She has a lot of really fun experiments, and she's really big on validating, improving these concepts. I love her book. She's got a fantastic sense of humor, really fun, short reads. You can dip in and out of the book. So E3, I think it's Energy Experiments, something like that. Another really good one that I like is, oh gosh, I'm going to forget the name of it's an old-fashioned book, and you might not be able to, you probably find it used more so, or maybe a digital copy. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph P. Murphy. It's very old-fashioned. It's a little dated, but the experiments and the examples that he puts in there are really, really fun. So, yeah, there's a lot of fun things you can do. And you can keep asking for signs if it pleases you, right? If you want to see a two-headed giraffe, put that out there and keep your eyes peeled for a two-headed giraffe. It can be any kind of thing. It could be a costume, it could be a cartoon, it could be a patch on someone's jacket. It's just really, really fun to play with these energies. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. This video will be posted on my channel, and if you want to add comments or keep track of your the experiments that you do with your guides, you're welcome to put them in the comments. That's a fun way to keep track of them and to share them with other people. And yeah, I'm up to 190 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And I'm never going to say like, subscribe, share, whatever. I'm never going to say that. But I have decided I'm going to do some live readings when I hit 200. So that should happen soon. And so keep an eye out for that. And yes, indeed, Diane, it is disentangle time. Thank you so much. We have a tradition where we breathe together for 2 minutes at the end of this. And this is part of your good energy hygiene program. You are going to disentangle from the group energy, and you're going to leave any concerns that any of these intentions may have caused you. You're going to leave that behind. You don't need to carry the weight of these intentions and repeat them endlessly. No, we have done the work. We've sent that out into the universe. And so now let's breathe together and disentangle. So, hand over heart, feeling great gratitude for the work we've done together and just how much fun and humor there is in working with our guides. Very appreciative of this tool. And breathing in, 4, 5, 6, and out, 5, 6, 7, cueing the nervous system that all is well. Letting the muscles and ligaments and tendons and fascia relax in the body. Letting the heart be glad. And confident that we're withdrawing our energy from the group and that the circle is complete and secure. And anything we found inspiring, helpful, healing, encouraging, we're going to take that with us into our week. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next time. Good night.